responsibility to cleanse myself.
They pursued the Nautiloid. Perhaps they were trying to free you.
A vain notion. I am one of many, and will not be a burden to my queen.
Is gone! Happy! 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 Come! Present!
Caution is warranted here.
Nozel, how would you punish someone who wronged you?
Wrong me how?
Oh, say, murder or theft?
Killing is good. It culls the weak. But theft would be paid for painfully, 1,000 times over.
Good to know.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Nothing will stand in my way. Must be the tree from the note to Korga. What's that cleft there?
Your sour face is tiring, Shadowheart. By all means leave if I am so distasteful.
I'd rather not turn my back on you, if it's all the same.
Speak. Are you sure that's the best? Confirmed.
Hey, soldier. Aces.
Come, boy. It's all right.
Why are you here? I sent you to Zevlor. What? That damn nose of yours has gone poking in our business.
Mistress Olladin, I can explain.
Shh. No need. It couldn't be helped.
Korga! What is the meaning of this?
You think yourself quite the spy, don't you? Go on, tell him.
A shadow druid? Korga, have you lost your mind?
You and Elsin welcome untouchables to your midst. You defile the grove for the sake of harmony.
Olladin speaks truth. Who among you disagrees? Who would see this grove in ruin?
The choice is made. Korga, burn the tainted away. Start with the snitch.
As you say, Olladin. With the grove taken for Cloakwood, the Circle will see that I'm right. The Great Mother will guard us from all danger. Yes. When the darkest hour fell, it was us that brought light. Sylvanas demands we illuminate Shadow, not hide within it. How was I so blind?
Careful, Korga. The shadows don't forgive.
I belong to the Shadows no longer. You've no power over me.
You would question my power. Mother Earth, hear me. Grant me your wrath.
And if the goblins get in here, what will happen to the grove? To us?
We'll find another way to stop them. We must.
You will face Sylvanas' justice.
If it's an argument you seek, you won't find it here, whatever the Tree Father's judgment. I will accept it in full.
What's on your mind?
You have saved Korga from herself. I cannot thank you enough.
You once called me a monster. Seems I've proven you right. I was thinking I could make us safe. A foolish notion. To think we'd find comfort in Shadow. I endangered a child. I betrayed the Circle's trust. We will stop the Rite and I will stand trial. My fate lies with Sylvanas. May he have mercy. We will grant them safe harbor until they depart. Meanwhile, help us contend with the goblins. Perhaps we can dissuade them from attacking. It began with a letter. There was no messenger, it simply appeared. Olladin came soon after. An army was coming, she said. Goblins, drow, and more still. Legions upon legions. The druids of Cloakwood knew the dangers this would bring. They ordained that all circles cast the Rite to shelter from the storm. Olladin taught me to harness the Tree Father's power to wall us in. In return, well, you know the rest. I would turn the grove over to them. I won't forget the wounds I've inflicted. I pray Halcyon returns to heal them in full. I see it on your face. You hate me. And I don't blame you.
I do not hate you. I am ashamed at how far I let your machinations spread.
Shadow druids. To think we were rotting from within. Oh, I'm sorry. I need a moment.
owl focuses on you, calmed in your presence.
You're testing my patience.
The Rite of Thorns has ceased. It seems you will be allowed to stay, but behave.
It's still rough, but my son...
You ever scare me like that?
Mom!
You saved our little girl and stopped the ritual. Like,
Thank you.
you got our little girl home safe. And I can rest easy knowing we won't be turned out on our backsides. I can't say thanks enough.
Stealing the idol. What were you thinking?
I was trying to help.
I'm told the druids have stopped their damn chanting. What happened? Truly, Ilmater's ashes. I never thought she would actually see reason. Thank you. We still have the goblins to contend with, but you've given us time to prepare. I need to ensure my people make the most of it. But here, left over from my soldiering days, it's sparse thanks for what you've done for us. And I'm afraid I have more yet to ask. You've bought us some time here, but the goblins are still massing out there. We'd need an army of our own to escort us safely to Baldur's Gate. And while I don't doubt your abilities, you're no army. There may be a way, though. Goblins are ill-disciplined. It's unlike them to organize so cleverly. Somebody must be leading them, bringing discipline to their ranks. Take out that leadership, and they'll scatter. It's no small thing to ask, but I've seen you fight. You're equal to the task. Everyone in this camp depends on it. Thank you. We'll be ready to leave as soon as you give word.
Commander!
Just Zevlor, Tilly. We're civilians now, remember?
With respect...
Away! Away! You're all the same. Too many of my kind died because of your spears, but not me!
Shadowheart's attention is fixed on a damaged old statue.
We should keep moving. You already know as much as I do. Best ignore it. As long as it doesn't hamper us too much.
Thy wheel dost thou require, as the
another muffled cry.
Leave it. Whoever's inside doesn't want an audience, and I don't want to fight.
What the hell are you doing? Puny! I am strong! I am virile! I am
Enough! Oh, a moment ruined. Passion squished like slow goats underfoot. Oh, we leave.
Something over there.
Goblins ahead.
A war drum.
Look it, Claw. Sapper's here. Unless you got another reason to be here. Fake shite.
Let's try to be diplomatic, shall we? Goblins don't come by the handfuls, but by the dozens.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Claw, bad girl! She's a little overexcited. Been a busy day. Lads are celebrating. Who? If he ain't one of us, and if he's here, he's down in the pits.
Down in the pits, no less. Sounds ominous among creatures that love blood sports. Better step to it.
Depends who you are. We're celebrating a raid. No better time in camp than this. Get yourself a bit of fun before it dries up. Rip the guts out of Joaquin's rest, we did. Inns are good for gutting. Lads even captured some Duke. Worth celebrating, that is.
swivel be on guard.
You couldn't guard his nose with his fingers. Claw! You idiot!
I smell blood. Boom!
Have to keep going.
Cover me! I'll get the alarm.
Goblins ahead.
A war drum. One of those can summon fighters far and wide.
His nose from his fingers. Look it, Claw. Sapper's here. Unless you got another reason.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is...
Sometimes the only way out is through.
I got this. I'm going to enjoy this.
With haste.
What should I do?
I don't get my beauty sleep soon, I may just get a tad malcontent.
Tribe? Tribe! Tribe!
Oh. My, you startled me. Was miles away. Just pondering what I lost. Mystra commands all magic. Salvation, if such a thing exists, is hers to bestow or withhold. And yet even now, more than I fear losing my own self and soul, I fear losing my command of her art. Magic is my life. I've been in touch with the weave for as long as I can remember. There's nothing like it. It's like music, poetry, physical beauty, all rolled into one and given expression through the senses. Is it the same for you? Fair enough. Though in the end, we're still playing the same composition. Perhaps I can show you what I mean by reaching into the weave together. Then follow my lead. Now you.
A familiar feeling, like a kind word and a kind touch at the same time. It's warm and comfortable.
Excellent. Now, repeat after me. Athran mistraril kantrak eo.
Ah, yes. The scent of rosewater and a sense of well-being. A sliver of weave that tastes sweet on the tongue.
Very good. Now, I want you to picture in your mind the concept of harmony, as true as you can.
You see, or is it sense, the unmistakable presence of Mystra, the Lady of Mysteries. There's something like the anticipation of a kiss, then the pleasure of being cloaked in peace. You are safe. You are nestled in the cup of Mystra's hand.
Look at that. We're channeling the weave. How does it feel? You're hard to please, aren't you?
The weave connects you. The moment feels intimate. The weave evaporates, and as it does so, you realize the night feels suddenly cold and lonesome.
Oh. There it goes. How easily things slip away from us, no matter how hard they were in the obtaining. Good night. I enjoyed sharing a moment of magic with you.
What's on your mind?
Sir Gale's been walking around this whole time with some sort of magic bomb in his chest. I'm not normally one to begrudge someone their secrets, but that's something I should know.
To think, Gale's had this devastating all within himself the entire time, and only just mentioned it. Who'd keep a secret like that from his friends? You can't trust anyone these days.
Speak.
The goblins still infest the roads. As long as their leaders live, Zevlor's people are trapped.
How can I help?
I've had a pupil or two, but never for very long. Their ineptitudes tend to irk me. You do seem to be a precocious talent, though. I can always tell when I meet a keen mind, receptive to Mystra. Keep it up, and she might just take a personal interest in you one of these days. The very same. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistril, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel. And with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistril sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistril, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. Loving them has its side effects as well. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mystra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
The dog holds a well-chewed ball in his mouth.
Almost pleasant traveling with company, if you ignore all the less pleasant aspects.
What's on your mind?